Jade Moon, hello, welcome in. Hello, Zephyr, Tabby, Bigfoot Situationship, how you doing? Welcome in, everyone. I'm gonna go make sure my cats have lunch really quick because one of them is already yelling at me. ad break has ended and we can get into it. What game are you playing? Oh, Hogwarts Legacy. Hello, Mumbo. How are you doing? What's everyone working on today? Not the migraine. Oh my god. Well, if you take pain meds, it's a good idea to go ahead and take them now. Proactive pain management is the most effective pain management. Oh, you finished your horns? That's awesome. Thank you. Working on finding your friend. Hopefully you locate them soon. You might start the antlers next? Hell yeah. I definitely want to make another antler pattern in the future. I would like to do a bigger one, but for this one, I felt like focusing on having a small staple set of antlers was better. Especially with the addition of the ears, so I'm gonna think about ways that I can reinforce a bigger set of antlers in the future. But that seems like the kind of thing that might make sense on its own anyway, so small ones felt like they made sense for the pack. Just gave Merlin his eye drops. I just went and shoved pills down Jude's throat really fast because I almost forgot to give her medicine. Like I did last night. So that wouldn't have been good. Let's not forget to do that twice in a row. Agatha's having a fit today. I'm just gonna shut the door. Oh, puppy's recovering well. Yeah, no more vet visits for you. Fingers crossed. Oh, that sounds so cozy collie. Let's see here. Cozy collie, I agree. Ugh, I hate that, Alessia, when you just cannot get in touch with somebody. Starting a new character. What should you name them? Well, do you know what kind of playthrough you're gonna do? Like, what vibes are we going for? What kind of names do you normally do? Spreadsheet time for Tabby, I see. Oh, totally. You should do something like your name but slightly different to be silly. Spreadsheets at the co-working place or at home? I feel like co-working space is probably going to keep you more productive. There you go, Zephyr. So I'm gonna ask for tester picks in the, well, I gotta make sure I can do it first, but I'm gonna have people put them in the exit form, so I'll go ahead and get that to y'all sooner than later, so that if you're like all the way done, you can just be done. But that way I know, like, y'all are explicitly giving me permission to use stuff, right? So I want y'all to feel like you can post pictures in the tester chat and that not be counted as like consent. So I'll have y'all give them to me explicitly through the form at the end. Home has a cat? That's a good point. Cake in the oven? Oh, hell yeah. I do, yes, I feel less ill today so far. I agree. I usually don't stay sick for very long, so I was expecting it to kind of clear up quickly. I just have normal morning time post-nasal drip going now. That's better than I can do, my god. I can't run in any minute mile. I hate running. It makes me feel so sick. Yeah, if you're gonna exercise in a binder, it's generally recommended that you size up so that you're not having as much compression. Because because you should definitely be able to take those full breaths. I get it. Oh, good job. I'm glad you found them. Three sleeve rows for Zephyr, you got it. You need to breathe or you'll die. That's wild. A wild opinion. Okay, let's clear. I guess I could have saved mine because it's the same as yesterday, but you know, whatever. If I was smart, I'd start making my to-do lists in here, honestly. But I like having them on paper so they're right in front of my face. Yes, Mambo, go do that for sure. I think that the cat on lap definitely makes sense for that. For me, for bell sleeves, I do about here, but it depends. There's like different styles, so there, you know, there's definitely styles that come down from the elbow. And I think that they are technically called something different. Like I think that a bell sleeve is more like towards the cuff that it opens up. Generally speaking, but I think either way would be fine. Obviously, if you start at the elbow, you're going to have a lot more fabric to work with. They're also more likely to slide down your whole arm if you start at the elbow, versus if you start a little bit farther down, more towards your cuff. Your elbows won't be as chilly. Something to consider. I usually like to go with the tried and true method of I tell you what to do, and then your gut reaction to being told what to do helps guide you towards what you actually want to do. So I'll be like, you need to do it from the middle of the forearm, and then your gut reaction is like, but I don't want to do that. I want to do it from the elbow, and then you know what you need to do. So That looks stressful? I don't find it stressful. It's not for everybody for sure, but I don't find it stressful at all. I would not be doing this if I found it stressful. We actually had Spaghetti Thursday this week. We're on the front of the map today. I'm changing it up on y'all. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. No, it doesn't bother me. How many bobbins am I using? So I have about, let's see here. Almost 70 different colors at the moment, and I will be adding a few more by the end. I try not to keep things on the bobbin. I cut my stuff because the bobbins tangle like crazy if you've got a bunch of them hanging off of the back. So that's why I have so many ends. But this is, believe it or not, actually easier to deal with. Because you can just comb through them with your fingers to untangle them versus the bobbins, when they tangle up, they just lock. So you try to comb through the strings and then you're stuck. So you gotta unwind them and it takes longer. So you don't want your bobbins so close together that they can wrap around each other if you can help it. Yeah, your colors are close together, for sure. Yeah, it's, I think it's better to try and estimate how much you are going to actually need. So when I'm working with, like, a bigger project, like the hot dog sweater, a lot of my yarn was coming from, like, really big skeins, and I had to cut pieces from that anyway because I needed that color to be in multiple different places. But even then, I found it a lot easier to work with smaller balls of yarn than larger balls of yarn. So at one time it was 90 bobbins. Absolutely not. Yeah, highly recommend cutting things and just letting yourself deal with the ends, because yeah, that many bobbins, that sounds nightmarish. That sounds like it would tangle so fast. Yeah, this is way easier, I promise you. It was making your blanket bow. Yeah, it's a lot of extra weight, for sure. That's another good thing about cutting, is that when you're cutting your strings, instead of leaving them on the bobbins, you don't have as much of that extra weight hanging off the back of your blanket. So it's also less stress on your hands. I'm not gonna shave the spaghetti mess. I wouldn't say that, no. Because I want to make sure that I still have some security from the ends. So if I shaved them, I would definitely lose tension. I don't ever mess around with like magic knots or anything like that, because I don't trust them. I think that ends are really important for allowing your knots to maintain tension, because I don't know, like I pull manufacturer's knots right out a lot of the time. Like if you just, because what happens with knots is, so you tie them right and you pull them really tight and they're hanging onto each other like this, but over time they may relax, right? If they don't have that, because if you don't have the tension on them all the time pulling consistently, they aren't necessarily going to stay tight. So if your knots relax, then you can just pull them right apart. So if you have ends, still, if you have like tails, then when you pull that knot, it has enough extra room to tighten again before it completely comes apart. So it's like a fail-safe kind of to have the ends, and it's even better if you weave in those ends, because then a lot of times you're like folding that yarn over, so it's not just like, it's not just remaining like this where it's in the two opposite directions, where it's really easy for it to just pull apart. Because it's folded back, it's going to put another level of tension on it that's going to make it harder for it to unravel. So that's why I'm a big fan of weaving in ends personally. Like I just think that for the longevity of whatever you're making, it's going to be more secure. I know some people also do put a little bit of glue on their ends. I, again, personally don't really trust that if it's a wearable. Just because you're most likely going to be washing it if it's a wearable, and glue will like degrade over time. So I think that weaving in your ends is just going to hold up to being worn better. For this project, however, because it is not going to be worn or used or anything like that, it's just going to be displayed on the wall. I'm going to go through and I'm going to knot all of the ends. So everybody gets a buddy. They're all going to get a double knot, right, to help maintain that tension on the front. And then I'll trim a little bit off just so I don't have super long pieces. But everything will, at least be about 1.5 inches long, probably. And then I'm going to go through and comb everything so that I'm having as like to reduce lumpiness, basically. So I don't want all of my ends clumping right here. I want to brush them out so it's like a smooth mat of like batting almost on the inside. And so then what I do is I get some really diluted craft glue. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I found it. I just have this Elmer's Craft Bond that actually works pretty well. And it dries really quickly. So I just grab some of this and I have some water and I just dilute them. And just brush that over the ends to kind of keep them in place. I'm not trying to use a lot. It's not like I'm gluing down the back of a rug, right? Because I don't want to completely destroy any stretch that the map might have. I want to still be able to pull it out a little bit for when I finally mount it. Because when I mount it, I like to put just a little bit of tension on it to help keep those stitches nice and open. But yes, that's why I don't plan to like trim them all the way down or anything, because I want to make sure that the map can withstand having that final tension put on it. You weave in your tails now? Yeah, I think it's definitely good practice if you're going to be, exposing a piece of fabric to movement in the future. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like people do it for a reason, you know? Shy's doing the job today. I do have a hard deadline today because my wife has to play D&D. So if I'm gonna hang out past 4, I can't say anything, basically. but usually will not have this conflict on Fridays. That's why I picked Fridays rather than Saturdays, and why game day will probably be on a Sunday, just so I don't have to worry about Saturday scheduling conflicts at all. This is what you have to do when you have your computers in the same room. Yes, silent library chat. I'll turn on emote only mode. Nobody can talk. Hi, Puzzled. Welcome in. Recently saw your shorts on YouTube, and it's your first time actually catching a stream? Yes! Welcome in. You've definitely found the right place. We have a lot of non-binary crafters in here, for sure. There's a Discord community as well, if you would like to hop in there. You can just do !Discord and it'll come up with the link for you. Thank you, Mambo. Yeah, we got a lot of fun conversation going on over there, for sure. Adele should be arriving any second. Everyone, please protect yourselves. You literally just counted how many rows you wanted to do before increasing and you forgot it? Yeah. I really try to be good about writing everything down because, yeah, exactly. It'll fly out of my head the second I stop thinking about it. It's like the trickiest part of when you freehand stuff. People will be like, oh, I love that. Do you have the pattern for it? And you're like, well, I didn't keep a piece of paper next to me when I was writing it, so no. It's gone forever now. Welcome back from Adele, everyone. I hope she went easy on y'all today. Lifeless, hi, how are you doing? I'm excited to watch the new video later. I saw that right before stream. I was like, let me just put something on while I eat some food, and then I was like, oh my god, there's a new video, and then I was like, fuck, I don't have 20 minutes to watch this. Feeling tired after eating? Ain't that a mood? When your body just diverts all of the energy into digestion. It's like I used to have to make sure that I like brought a Coke or something to work with me because I was like, otherwise I'm just not gonna get energy fast enough from eating. You started watching Sims 4 videos because you sometimes want to watch Sims, but playing can be a lot. Yeah, for sure. Hi, Alistair. How are you doing? Yeah, I love watching other people play games while I'm doing stuff. I watch a lot of, Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto roleplay streams. Those are so funny. I wish caffeine woke you up rather than knocked you out. Yeah, for sure. I think for me it's definitely more of like the sugar doing the work than the caffeine. Because caffeine really does not have that much of an impact on me. Or so I used to think, until I discovered that apparently it does impact my gallbladder, so gotta be careful not to have too much of that these days. Oh no. It's the 25th anniversary of chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water. I'm sorry, what do you mean by that? Oh gosh, yeah. I think some of my favorite Sims content, other than Andrew Arcade, is probably whenever Little Simsy plays with Stanley Humphrey. Oh, Lip Biscuit. Somebody has to traumatize chat today. Whenever I see the phrase hot dog water, I just think of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which can we talk about how mean that was of them to keep calling her hot dog water? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I apologize. I'm like, why are we participating in bullying right now and acting like it's normal? Did you know EA named the gemology table after Stanley Humphrey? I feel like I did know that, but it's cool to be reminded. Yes, it was so mean. It's like, don't act like you think that's her real name. Continuing to call her that is participating in bullying. What are y'all doing? Marcy and Velma shippers, rise up. Also, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Surprise Cthulhu plotline. He doesn't like his birthday, so he would rather say it's Limp Bizkit Day. I think that's a good way to go about it. Yeah, birthdays can be stressful. I don't know if anybody else has that vibe, but... I really don't like all of a sudden being inundated with messages from every single person I know. It's just too much at once. Like, y'all are being very nice, and I appreciate that, but also, like, I am overwhelmed. Please help. Yeah, it's too much attention. Ugh. Yeah, the plot of that show is truly wild. It's like you will never see it coming. Cake is done. Oh, please enjoy it for me. I want cake so bad. Oh, your friends forgot your birthday? I'm sorry. That's the other thing about it too. It's just like so much like expectation and like, well, if I don't get messages, what does that mean? I would just rather not have to think about it. Oh, you're putting your babies in pumpkins? That is so cute. You're getting a cheesecake for him and you're gonna write Happy Limp Bizkit Day on it? That's amazing. Yeah, a lot of the times they'll have frozen cheesecakes in the just in the grocery store that are actually pretty decent. So that could be a good cheaper option as well. Oh no, not the cat disruption. You're on the field trip bus. Have fun on your field trip, Alessian. If cheesecake was a person, I'd let them step on me and thank them for it. Tell you what's fucking good. Mango pie. It's kind of the same vibe, but I think it is definitely superior. And whatever it is, it really needs to have graham cracker crust. To be honest. Also very big on lemon meringue pie. Not a big fan of mango. That's fair. I feel like there are a lot of contexts in which I could certainly leave it, but mango pie is out of this world. Pie is not your fave thing. Mango pie is so good because it's not like pie. It's more like a cheesecake. Or like a lemon meringue pie, where it's just like the creamy filling with like the really good graham crackery crust. I don't know. I don't really think of that as being like the same as like pie. You know, it's not like flaky pastry. I'm not the biggest fan of flaky pastry. You've been obsessed with toffee puddings ever? Like sticky toffee pudding? Because that shit's real good. I used to work at Whole Foods and they had one that was like, you know, it's prepackaged. You just pop it in the microwave, but it got the job done, I'll tell you what. Recently discovered you're allergic to apples. That's a terrible thing to be allergic to, because apple is in so much more than you would think. Oh my god, lifeless. Yeah, eating an entire bag of dried mango is, that's dangerous. Anytime you expose yourself to that much fiber all at once, be careful. It's a latex-based allergy. Oh my gosh. I didn't know there was a relationship between like a latex allergy and apples. But yeah, that's rough. It's like adhesive allergies, those two can really spiral out and impact so many different things. Latex food allergies specifically, but you probably still don't want to interact with latex in other contexts too much, I would imagine. I didn't realize that all of that was related to latex. That's really interesting. You had a friend who was allergic to almonds and it manifested itself in apples and peaches. It's so interesting because it's like almonds, but it's a lot of the times it's like a specific part of the whatever food that's also found in other things. So, which is obviously how like adhesive allergies can expand to encompass other adhesives because you're reacting to like one specific component of the whatever it is. But yeah, it's just crazy learning more about like how all of these different things that we think of as being so disconnected are related to each other. You miss banana bread? I bet you do. What about zucchini bread? Have you ever had zucchini bread? Bay window, you got it, Shy. Oh, we got our spirit anyway. Let's check this out. Oh my god. Look at him in his little raincoat. Y'all know about Ductavius over on Twitch? Somebody just got a new little baby duck and has been showing him the world, and his name is Ductavius and he's very cute. Do you have an activity preference or a time of day preference? Yeah, not quite the same. That's totally fair. Knitting? Time of day matters not. Then we will go for morning time because it is my favorite with this background because it makes everything so green and spooky. Look at him. He's just standing there like, just vibing. I guess he's keeping me safe. What a good boy. I love him. I thought I was gonna be most excited about the capybara from this pack, but I fucking love this little guy. I am gonna get the capybara back out though, for right now, because I think that you can see it better over here. There we go. The little guy kind of gets lost in the cushions. Oh my god. When you get raptured, your clothes are left behind. Does this include piercings, tattoos, makeup, hair dye? It's that classic question of, like, what's included in a teleportation spell. The ducky has a little Grim Reaper? Hang on. Oh. Look at him. He's so emo. Oh, this one is cute too. I like this one. He's like... What am I looking at? I want to eat it though. He looks like candy. He looks like a Tootsie Roll Pop. He's just so cute. Oh, this one's like mallard colors. Little egg. I think this one might be my favorite out of the regular ones. But obviously this guy is very good. Oh my god. Gonna start singing Dear Maria. That is so cute. Thank you for mentioning that to me. The ghost billow is you? I see it. I see the resemblance. Yeah, look at this fucking adorable capybara. I love capybara. What am I getting stuck on? Did it? Okay, I swear I took this clip off. I guess not. Wait, I took a clip off? What? Oh my god. I took the next one off. That's fine. Whatever, I'm just gonna leave it. You got tea and snacks in your spreadsheet. You'll get your kitty back. You just wait and see. Yes, kitty pick. Kitty picks for sure. Thank you, Nightbot. last night. I was feeling a little bit too poopy to really do anything much, so I played Oblivion for a little bit. And I came across a little bandit camp, and the bandits were kind of like glitching out on me, and it basically sounded like chat yesterday. They were really just talking. I love that game. It's so fun. I'm doing my best to stay focused and work through the actual main storyline because I'm so bad about not doing that with, like, the Skyrim franchise games. Like, I've never actually beaten the main storyline in Skyrim because I always just get so distracted and go off on a tangent and, like, do every other quest. So with Oblivion, I'm really trying to actually, like, every time I stop and go, like, oh, well, what should I do now? I try and put myself back onto the track of the main storyline so that I can actually have a hope of finishing it. But even within that, I'm still going off on so many tangents, which I feel like is really supported by the game itself, honestly, with how much important stuff just kind of like pops up in your path. The hardest thing though is definitely managing my loot, because anytime I go into a dungeon I just completely over encumber myself, and then I have to start making choices about like what has the most value. I don't even know how I would be managing that if I was trying to do like a magic user and do alchemy and stuff. Like, I'm basically ignoring alchemy in this run because I just simply don't have room or time for it. But if I make if I play for long enough, or if I make another character, I'm probably going to do a magic user run and like really properly experience that, because I do think that there's a lot of really cool potential in the game for it. And I do want to play with collecting every ingredient because I like that. Guess who's only done 2 turning chains and nothing else? I mean, it's a start. It's only been an hour. You got this. Oh, take your opportunity to stretch. Maximilian, good evening. Yeah, it's afternoon for me, but welcome in. How are you doing today? You're forgiven? You got your cat back? Hell yeah. Where did I put my bag with the extra bobbins in it? gonna have to figure out what I did with that after stream. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. It's 9 p.m. for you. Yeah, we got people all over the world in here. It's pretty crazy. Welcome in, Norseworg. Thanks for joining us. Currently knitting. We got the crafty vibes for you for sure. You almost dropped your phone in the bath. Speaking of the bath, I think I left the water running, so I'm gonna turn that off really quick. Welcome back, everyone. Hello there, Crojo. Welcome in. Yeah, has anybody seen Black Phone 2? I second that, because I have not seen Black Phone, but agreed, now that the second one is coming out, it's like I'm seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, what is this? Like, it's literally even in Fortnite. There's a skin for it. You get a lot of baby ads, they've got you clocked. Yeah, no ads for you. You're so special. Oh. What is going on over there, Crocho? Yeah, that does sound weird. Yeah, sometimes the targeted advertising misses the targeted part, for sure. Hello, Pumpkin. Welcome in. Expensive dog food? Yeah. Is this for a movie or a perfume? And the perfume ads are wild. It's like, I am not really a scent person. Like, I will just forget that it exists and never use it. But I'm like, I guess this must be working for somebody. Yeah, it's so hard to have an ad for something you need to smell. Agreed. I don't know. They could, maybe they could like try telling you what it smells like. Instead, they're just like, the feeling of a racing heartbeat, walking up a glass incline. This is J'adore. It's like, I don't know what to do with this information. What row am I on? I believe it's like 132. Yeah, 132. Out of 244. So we are 10 rows past the halfway point. Thank you. Yeah, making good progress for sure. I'm like gonna remain optimistic that we're gonna stay nice and consistent for quarter 3, stay on target, get this done under a year. Welcome in, Lee. Not late at all. A wizard arrives precisely when he means to, right? You can finally crochet. You've been released. Yeah, every once in a while my cat will just come lay across my arms and it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't want to do anything today. Carmilla is so funny though. She's gotten to a point where she really likes to be picked up. So I'll just pick her up and throw over my shoulder and just like carry her around the house and be like doing stuff in the kitchen, and she's just like up there making gentle little biscuits on my back and purring. She's a baby. Yeah, she's not quite a parrot cat. I've had parrot cats. What I would call parrot cats. Jude, when she was little, she liked to be a parrot cat, and she really would fully sit on your shoulder and just hang out there. You still have to hold Carmilla's butt because she goes completely limp. But yeah, it is definitely nice that she'll hang out up there. But you never know. It's like they've changed a lot as they've aged. So like they've gone through phases where they were more aloof and more snuggly, and just kind of evolves over time. Likes to perch in your arms but not on your shoulder. Yeah, that does make it a little harder, doesn't it? It's like they're so little and lightweight, but they get heavy real fast. Dewey loves to be held like a sack of potatoes. That's so cute. I'm gonna have to obtain a Hot Wheels car at some point, because I completely agree with everyone who's like, this reminds me of those play mats with the roads on them, and all I want to do is drive a little Hot Wheels car around on it. Yeah, full stream of Hot Wheels time. I'll just get like, I have a Hot Wheels car, and I have like I have a little plastic baby that came out of a king cake, and like, I don't know, like I'll get Monopoly pieces or something, and we'll just have imagination playtime with the map. A little Hot Wheel of Pam's bus, oh my god. A Hot Wheel of Pam's bus and a Lego glass of wine. You have a couple of micro machines that are 3/4 of an inch long. That really would be perfect. Yeah, because Hot Wheels are like a little big still, but would work. But yeah, that tiny little cars like that. That's what I need for sure. And I can like crash my car into the side of the general store and stuff. It'll be great. Get a tech deck and pretend you're Sam. I love it. Yeah, that'll be my stand-in until I have all of the little villager heads made to actually indicate everyone on the map. Is that I'll just have to get like little tokens to represent everyone. So like the little tiny skateboard can be Sam, and like get a cigarette for Sebastian, and Maru can be a battery. We'll have the glass of wine for Pam. I think there are little Lego poppies. That would be good for Penny. Leah can be like a little Lincoln log pine tree. You know what bothers me about Leah? I feel like you should be able to gift Leah like a piece of wood. Like she literally uses that for sculpture. Why wouldn't she like that? Wood's not large enough to sculpt with? Sure it is. Whittling exists. It's like a whole log. It's perfect. Can give driftwood. See, exactly. I can give driftwood, but not regular wood. It's not even because I feel like there's not enough gift options for her. It's just that I feel like it's logical, you know? Same thing with Robin. I can't give you a piece of wood. You're offended by this? They said, this is not special enough to count as a gift. Where's my gift? You should play Stardew Valley again. Yeah, it looks like I might be playing on stream in a couple weeks. Seems like Stardew Valley is winning the vote so far. So I'll have to make a new farm and everything, and figure out who I'm romancing this time, and if it's going to be Sebastian again. Haley? Maybe I'll make y'all vote on it. Not this Sunday, no. I feel like I have too much going on this week for that. Probably not next Sunday either, because I have a tattoo appointment. So I would imagine it'll be the first Sunday in November. That's when we'll start that up. You think Haley has the best 14 heart event? I don't think I've ever seen her 14 heart event. You're going out of town this weekend? Where are you going? If that's something you can share. Oh, visiting your grandmother in the hospital? I hope she's doing okay. Yeah, not so funny now, is it, Shy? Let's go get that duck. He's so tiny. Look at him. You like can't even see him on the bench. Oh, there's a family drama going on that you're not gonna get into. Yeah, hopefully people can just put that aside for hospital time. Like, priorities, right? It's always the worst when it's like, there's something that's actually important going on right now. Can we like not do this other thing? Oh, the drama is about the hospital shit? Well. Hopefully we can, let Grandma focus on a smooth recovery. Well, well, well. What do we have here? What does it look like? How are you doing today, Molly? You had to hear about it from your sister's husband? Been there. You know, a while back, my aunt died of cancer, and I didn't find out that she even had cancer until a year after she was already dead. So that was pretty wild. So when my grandma died, my dad and my sister made sure to get in touch with me right away because they were like, let's make sure that Jack knows this time. Oh, I'm glad that you're having a nice time over there, Molly. Your great aunt and great uncle died on the same day a year apart after being married for 70 years. That's some crazy synergy. Anniversaries are stressful though, so I can kind of see where that comes from. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, COVID and heart problems, not a good combination for sure. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, and what we are discussing currently is going to be completely unrelated to your situation. No deaths for you. Everybody's going to be fine. Goals, honestly? Yeah, for real. It's basically what we all gotta hope for, right? It's just, whenever the inevitable happens, we get to do it old and happy. You're done knitting for the evening? Thanks for stopping in, Brumbly Bear. Adela's gonna be showing up real soon, y'all, so gird your loins. Ungirded loins are how babies are made. I think that's probably step 1, yeah. Undo the girding. You can learn when you're older. There she is. Welcome back, everyone. I hope she treated you well. And we are passing the halfway point right now. The Lunchables ad with the fraction feels like the kids know their math teacher is listening. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, sometimes these little threads are real sneaky. Hard to fish out. You're Master Fisher. What's everyone's favorite skill in Stardew Valley? I hate fishing. Unabashedly, I was thinking one of the only mods that I would have installed for Stardew Valley Run on Stream is the one where you can see where all of the NPCs are on the map, but I forgot about the fishing mod that I have installed that I'm not getting rid of because I fucking hate fishing. First of all, the sound it makes is unbearable for me. I hate that squeaky noise when you're trying to catch the fish. That you're like the just squeaky noise of your fishing rod, and it also It's just the whole experience is very grating for me. So I have a fishing mod where you just instantly catch everything, because I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's hard to go from a 3-year run to a new one because the fishing is rough. Yeah, fishing mod. Highly recommend. It's like, Stardew Valley is a cozy game. I should not be hating my life when I play it. That really feels like defeating the purpose. You live for the grind? Not me. I am anti-grind 100%. Mining is irritating until you get the Mecha Bomb. I think for me, the thing with mining is just that, like, it's so far away. So I feel like once I have the mine carts unlocked, it's like, it's just much more enjoyable. But I need to try the approach that I've seen some other people have, where they, like, set up the cave entrance as, like, oh, there's, like, all this stuff in there. I feel like that would make it a lot more fun. You like ranching with all the little animals, but you hate growing things and watering them. Oh, you learned about golden eggs and dinosaur eggs. Totally. Have all the chicken types. I did not know about golden eggs. The witchy black and red egg is the void egg, right? I knew you could do that. I know about void chickens. Still haven't crocheted. Zephyr, what's going on? You want a dinosaur ranch? Yeah, that sounds so cute. Skull Cavern, like... I don't know how people do Skull Cavern. I just really don't. One of these days, I guess maybe even a day very, very soon, I will try and be serious about going for perfection, I guess, and I'll have to do Skull Cavern, but I really don't give a shit about doing it the right way. I will fully cheat, and I know that Mr. Key gives you some shit for that if you, like, cheat to get down there, and just, like, buy staircases and stuff, but you get the same thing out of it, so who fucking cares? So, oh, excuse me, Zephyr? What the fuck did you just say to me? It's the coward's way out, so Jack will enjoy it. Wow. Did I say I cheat at combat? Excuse you? Fishing is different. That is a sensory issue. I am accommodating myself. Are you wrong? I've never installed a mod for combat. Or for speeding up the mines. So yeah, kind of. You've gotten there with and without cheating, and you'll never do it without stairs again. Yeah, that's what I mean by cheating, is Mr. Key considers using staircases to be, like, cheating when you're doing his challenge thing. But I think that's bullshit, because he never gives you any specific parameters about, like, what you need to do in order to complete the challenge. So you can't tell me that I'm breaking the rules if you never gave me any rules. That just isn't logical. So in my opinion, he doesn't have a leg to stand on to tell me that I'm cheating. And also, he gives you the same reward anyway. And also, I disagree with the idea that it's cheating because it's literally, it's like a well-known game strategy. Yeah, I am the rules lawyer. That's right. When I play D&D, I'm the rules lawyer. Somebody's got to do it. You're allowed to use a certain amount of stairs before he calls you out. Well, whatever number it is, it's gonna be the number that I'm using because I'm gonna use all of them. I don't give a shit about his opinion. That man crazy. Somebody's got to do it. It's such a voice lawyer thing to say. Am I wrong? In multiplayer, if a player uses the stairs but the other player places them, he considers it honest. See, exactly. His opinion is bullshit, so why should I care about it? You're gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong? She came down in a bubble! Grow up! That is indeed the energy that I bring to the function. And that is why I don't get in debates with people anymore, because they cannot handle that energy. Which is fair, because it's too much. Yeah, Mr. Key's like on another level. How does everybody pronounce it, by the way? I'm not asking for the official pronunciation because I don't think that Concerned Ape even knows what the official pronunciation is. I know he's been asked about it before, and his answer was, like, kind of ambiguous, I believe. But, like, what do you hear in your head when you look at that name? You don't? Winning a debate and the argument are different things. I think that's a big part of it too, is like people get so wrapped up in like winning that the logic portion of it goes away. You're gonna go to sleep now? Oh, have a good night. Hope you get some good rest. You know what is so funny? I got an email from 123stitch.com. They've restocked their floss, like their big floss bobbins. They have them now. They didn't have them before. I was looking everywhere for them before and I couldn't find a place to get them. And I'm like, oh, now that I've purchased the majority of the yarn that I'm gonna need for this project, you have them in stock. That's great. I might end up getting a couple of them anyway, though, just for the colors that I've used so freaking much of. Mr. Key, as in key to unlock the game. Looks like one of the blue inbred family members from Kentucky. Okay, we're pulling out. We're pulling out the references. The fact that that's a thing that could actually happen to people is wild. Have you ever read Mehdi Hassan's book about debate? No. I took a debate class in high school and then decided that I did not want to go anywhere near that ever again. Not because I wasn't good at it, because well, when you're undiagnosed, sometimes things hit you really strongly and you don't know how to process them. God bless Appalachia. I mean, in Appalachia's defense, we're the royalty, not the ones doing it first. Oh my god. Are you serious right now? Junimo Cart or Journey of the Prairie King? As much as I hate Journey of the Prairie King, yeah, because I think that Junimo Cart is probably harder. Now, you certainly may call me a coward when it comes to completing Prairie King, because not only have I never done it, but I fully would install a mod for that as well. The fact that you have to play with Abigail for one of her cutscenes is like my least favorite thing in the world. At least it doesn't matter if you lose. Because can you imagine if you had to sit through that cutscene until you won? Like, God. Like, sorry, but I would just never speak to Abigail again. Abigail's like, I want you to play with me. And I'm like, I promise you don't. She'll never be my goth girlfriend now. It's okay. I can always show her my real sword. You haven't touched your desktop Stardew Valley since last March? You play on your Switch a lot? I like playing on my Switch in theory, but I have the Switch Lite, so it doesn't hook up to the TV, and I just find it too small a lot of the time, like for games that are ported. Not for Stardew Valley, but you do? Yeah. Like, every once in a while, I'll pull up Palia on my Switch, but it's pretty much just so that I can, like, water my crops and then I get off again, because it's too small. I can't see what's happening. Oh, play Splatoon and Sky. Sky's a pretty good game. I don't play it, but I have. I don't really like games that force you to do multiplayer. Just because, like, I don't know, like, I want to be able to play by myself. Yeah, totally. I also was introduced to that game by a former friend who is a Trump supporter, so I don't talk to them anymore. And I remember when they got me into that game, and I was like excited that we were gonna play together, and then they ran up to me with another random person, and they were like explaining that like we were real life friends, and they kept using she her pronouns for me, and I was like, oh, suddenly I don't really want to play this anymore. It's okay. It is what it is. You live and you learn. I certainly wouldn't take that shit from a close friend at this point. I'm like, if you keep fucking up my pronouns like that, I'm just gonna have to figure that means that you don't respect me, cause what the fuck do you mean? And lo and behold, she literally was like, oh yeah, I didn't do any research into like trans rights issues. I hadn't considered how that might be important in this election at all. And I'm like, you literally have 3 trans friends in this chat with you right now, and we have talked to you about this stuff before. What do you mean you didn't even think about it? So that was unimpressive. That clip of Sarah McBride misgendering the chair of a hearing after they misgendered her. Yeah, I have seen that one. I'm like, make your point. Damn, like, see? Y'all don't like it either. Generally not the biggest Sarah McBride fan. I feel like her stance on a lot of things is like lacking, but that was a pretty cool moment. Yeah, those people are such just baby behavior. Like, and then like some of the legislation that they've tried to pass where it's like you're no longer allowed to like use pronouns in emails or whatever, and then people had to like explain to them what a pronoun was, and they were like, oh, actually never mind. Kind of cool that she's the only House rep for the state of Delaware. I mean, yeah, I think it's very cool that she was elected as a trans person for sure. I think that's amazing representation. It would just be nice if she was also a bit more like vocal about trans rights issues. Oh gosh, your ex-best friend since kindergarten became a full-blown Trump supporter last month? Yeah. Yeah, last month too. I'm like, what positives have you seen in the last month to make you decide, you know what, I'm gonna go over here now? Like, oh wait, this is the wrong color. I thought that didn't seem right. The Charlie Kirk thing of all things? That's so stupid. It's like, I'm convinced when it's things like that, I'm like, you wanted to go over there, you're just looking for an excuse, because what are you talking about? Oh, I see. Kind of been going down that path for a minute, huh? The pipeline is doing its job. It's just really wild, like, that evidence of how different the reality some of us are living in is compared to, like, other people. Like, the way that we're processing information, the way that we see the world, the news that is coming up in our feed, like, we might as well be in an alternate universe from some of these people. If only that was actually the case, and we didn't have to also deal with the consequences of their heinous decision-making. Yeah, no, for sure. And so much of that, too, I think is very purposeful. Like, I don't think that a country with as much, like, potential as ours in terms of, like, the wealth that we were able to generate as a country, not as individuals, because obviously the wage gap is huge, but, like, there's a lot about the inequality in this country, including, you know, literary inequality that is, I think, very purposeful. Just keep pushing the maths and the sciences and undermining, you know, any value of arts and English. And oh, it's crazy. That actually has consequences. You see huge media literacy gaps between yourself and your partner. Yeah. University graduate versus GED. Well, I think that makes a lot of sense for sure. I think a lot of I've always been really good with literary analysis. It wasn't something that I necessarily needed to be taught in order to start laying the foundations of those tools, because it's like reading has been a special interest of mine. Less so now, but certainly when I was a child, that was my special interest. I read a lot on my own, and so there was a lot that I was able to pick up on by myself, but certainly going to college, I feel like my, education was expanded a lot in the literary analysis realm. And here's the ad break. You're free early? She had mercy on you? Yeah, I think so. Back to what I was saying about university, though. Beyond just the literary analysis element of it, there's a point that's made where university is often an experience for people that exposes them to different demographics of people. And so I think that there is a lot of sort of it's interesting because obviously there's this whole like capitalist system that's built up around university, so like there's a lot of people that like want that to continue and to thrive, right? But then there's also this consequence of like you have a lot of people that will have a political shift going to university because all of a sudden they're exposed to different kinds of people than they've been surrounded by their whole lives and different ways of thinking, and they have new ways of processing information, and they have, they unlock the like different research skills and things like that. And so for a lot of people it can be a huge political shift, especially to the left, and I think that there's a lot of people who don't like that for sure. But I think it's interesting that like rather than tearing down universities because they still have such a important place as money makers, there's been such a shift in education instead. Yeah, the close reading is not a common skill anymore, and when you point things out, they say you're reading too much into it. Yeah, it's like the whole phrase, like, it's not that deep. It is that deep, though. Like, it is. It's a matter of reading level. I saw a TikTok where somebody was breaking down reading levels and, like, explaining how, like, high school and then going into college reading levels, you, like, unlock, that reading level is like when you are understanding how to do close readings and unlocking subtext and, like, you know, able to understand things that aren't explicitly said, generally speaking. And it's like, yeah, I can definitely see how a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people are, you know, still processing writing at its most basic level. Yeah, I think, gosh. Yeah, there's a lot about liberal politicians that I don't like either, and I think that it's such a difficult position to be in because there is so much centrist thinking in leftist spheres at this point that it just feels like Republican Party Part 2 sometimes. Yeah, the way people manipulate stats. I thought it was so ironic. One of my classes that I took when I was in college was, oh my god, it was like qualitative skills and reasoning or something like that. So it was like it was a sort of fundamental principles of math class, like for people who didn't have a major where math was required. So kind of like a follow-up to, I feel like, algebra and geometry, not really getting into the realm of calculus, but dealing a little bit with statistics as well, kind of like the more basic areas of mathematics. And one of the first classes, I'm so glad that I ended up taking this class with my wife because that made it a lot more bearable. But one of the first classes, the teacher was doing a demonstration to talk about graphs skewing statistics, and he used Obama, like graphs about Obama as an example to talk about, like, you know, oh, if you know, are doing this and this with the X and Y axis, it makes it look like, you know, much more dramatic than it really is and stuff like that. But I just remember thinking, well, are you not also approaching this data with bias? Because you are also misrepresenting it in the way that you were talking about it. So, like, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I remember it being a total moment of like, well, this makes it pretty clear what your politics are. Like, you're literally doing the thing that you're talking about. And over the course of the semester, that was something that was repeatedly reinforced. Like, this guy would literally go on, like, Republican rants in the middle of class. And so later on in the semester, we were doing teacher evaluations. And teacher evaluations are something that you do, like, in class for that teacher, but they're completely anonymous. So my wife wrote one that was utterly scathing about this guy. And he got so mad that he, like, stood up in front of the class and, like, basically read off what it said and was like, who ever said that? Meh, meh, meh. And, like, bro, these were supposed to be anonymous evaluations. Like, you're not allowed to do that. But it was so funny to see him get so mad about it. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, selling for sure. Like, I think it's an unfortunate consequence, I think, of the way that we have structured society, where it's like that's often how we learn to communicate with one another and approach a lot of interactions is from a standpoint of, like, I am selling my perspective to you. And I think that it's I don't like that being the basis for a lot of social interaction. It feels very disingenuous to me, and it's so awkward being in this position that I'm in, where I'm, like, trying to be sole proprietor, small business owner. And I do have to do a lot of that work just like by necessity, because like on a logical level, people can't buy things from you if they don't know you're selling them, right? So the action of like being my own advertiser often puts me into this feeling of like I am getting too close to like just being a salesperson right now, and I don't like that being like the way that I'm framing interactions with other people. So I probably don't sell myself enough, unfortunately, but it just, yeah, I agree, it's like deeply uncomfortable to like always have to be asking that question of like, what are you trying to sell to me right now? At least if I'm going to sell something to you, I'm just going to say it up front. Oh yeah, I think there's definitely a very like, back to what you were saying, Zephyr, in YA Lit, there's a lot of like attempts to like eliminate the subtext, but I think what a lot of people don't realize is like, even if you don't put subtext in, there is still going to be some. I think the Twilight conversation that we were having yesterday is a really good way to, like, a really good example of that, because there's so much subtext in that book that wasn't intentionally placed there. It is just a byproduct of, like, the ideology of Mormonism. And so this is where the literary analysis tool of separate the art from the artist comes in, because the reason that phrase exists is because sometimes when you are looking at a piece of literature, you need to analyze the text for what it is actually saying versus the subtext that is coming in from an author's standpoint. It does not mean that you get to buy whatever you want and ignore who wrote it and give them money. Those are two different things. You can see the end of the spreadsheet. Oh, you're gonna do it. You're gonna get there. You have plenty of time. You'd love to have a mutual aid-based society so your needs are met without having to sell anything if you don't want to. Right, like, let's get some more socialism going on, please. People act like they don't like socialism, but I'm like, okay, well, do you not drive on roads? I'm sure you like having roads that are maintained for you to drive on. You don't think that that's socialism? Love socialism. Yeah, no, I think that there's a lot that, like, we put into words like socialism, like capitalism, that are often related to how people manipulate those systems. But I think it's important to evaluate the systems for, like, what they actually are versus, like, our fears about how people could potentially be using them. Like, even when we're talking about the evils of capitalism, right, we're looking at, like, the direct consequences of what the capitalist system is, and I think that that's important versus looking at, I mean, if a system can only lead toward abuses of the system, then that's probably worth interrogating. But, like, I don't know, like, I think that there are good things that come out of capitalism, right? And it's okay to say that. Like, it's just a system of organization, like anything. It is neutral at heart. It is, you know, people that are using it to whatever end. And I think to evaluate the entire system by looking at how people can manipulate it, it's good to look at those things because you need to have safeguards in place, right? But it is disingenuous to say that a system is at its heart the way that people abuse it. I don't know if that makes any sense. You've almost done a row. It's okay if you don't crochet today, Zephyr. Traumatized by the Soviet Union. Yeah, it was authoritarianism, exactly. And I think that was what we so often miss. It's like, also, like, I don't know, it's okay to be like, yeah, Karl Marx had some good points without, like, being like, I want to do a full communism now. Like, we can look at people's opinions and take things from different places without committing whole cloth to one thing, guys. It's okay. We could, like, even the worst people in the world have correct takes sometimes. I can acknowledge that. Every once in a while, Donald Trump will, in fact, say something that's true. It does happen from time to time. You're almost done with your second headband base? That's awesome. Broken clock and all that. Precisely. Yeah, monkey writing Hamlet on a typewriter. Fish committing credit card fraud. You know, you give it long enough with the game controller, you never know what could happen. Just reminded you of a time your 2-year-old niece subscribed your mom to HBO Max on the TV. Yeah, exactly. You click enough buttons, sometimes things just happen. Now, for everyone who has been tolerating this conversation, we can move away from discussing the political evils of the world and return to cozy things, if we would rather. Oh, can you imagine how wonderful that would be? Just opening the dryer and all your clothes being folded? That's utopia, the day we figure that out. That's so... Or like, Paris ordering things from the Alexa, which is less random and crazy because parrots are so freaking smart. I love birds. Oh no, I clicked the big Pinar button. You want a compound where everyone just does what they're best at? Yeah, there are people out there who like folding laundry. I'm like, have at it, bud. I will give you some. I could deal with washing the dishes if it was like an industrial kitchen too. Like, something about an industrial kitchen just makes that whole thing so much better. You like it, Mambo? What the hell? You would rather fold clothes than do the dishes? I would rather do neither one. Yeah, just don't make me decide what we're gonna eat. There would have to be, like, a meal plan. And, like, a freezer full of chicken nuggets. You have to think about your skill. It can be entertainment. That's acceptable, right? We're gonna have to get real creative. Finding a place for everyone. Orthopedic. What is OT? Am I close? Orthopedic therapist? Wait, what is that? Occupational therapist. I got it. I was like something with therapist. Bathrooms, laundry, and dog grooming. Impressive. An impressive list. I feel like occupational therapist is definitely a valuable skill to bring to the compound. Organizing everyone's tasks into manageable sections and writing things. Yeah, task management is huge. Baking and cat care, I like it. Mend and do laundry. You gotta have somebody who can mend if you're gonna do a compound. That's a gimme. Special education teacher. Teachers are great to have. Yes, baking is a huge one. Just non-stop pies. You'll cook sometimes, but don't count on it. I can cook. I'll be on kitchen duty. You want to go back to school to be a physician assistant so that if the apocalypse comes, we have to keep you alive? Yeah, you're going to make yourself invaluable. Did you ever watch Lost? I'm rewatching Lost right now, and the way that everyone just, like, immediately gives in to whatever the character's name is Jack, okay? Let's not be silly about this. The way that everybody just immediately does whatever Jack says because he's a doctor and he just, like, is instantaneously in charge. It's like, you might be onto something there. You're just passionate about patient care. No, for sure. You have to be to go into the medical field, I think. It is very demanding work. My mom was a nurse for a long time and also did hospice care. If I was not so... the way that I am, I think that I would like to pursue something like that because I think it's very important work, and I want to support people having their needs met, but I know that I can't handle that. Wink wink. If somebody else does the baking dishes, you'll have so many tasting things. I'm telling y'all, if we get an industrial kitchen, I can even handle the dishes. Industrial kitchen is where it's at. You want the 3-bay sink. You want the nice... The spray... the spray nozzle. Forget the gesture that I just made. Don't talk about that. You know, or one of the big dishwashers. 5 minutes until Adele gets here. Yeah, it makes cleaning everything so easy. And if you can just like having a wet room where like you can just like clean the floor, rinse everything down a drain, so much easier. Done with the spreadsheet? Hell yeah. You just don't want to be wet. If it's like, I don't like doing it halfway is my thing. So like, I don't like interacting with being wet if I can't just like fully commit to being wet. And like when I'm in my kitchen at home, it's like if water splashes out of the sink, I need to like clean it up right away because water doesn't need to be on my floor, right? But if I'm in an industrial kitchen setting, it's like I put on my white coat or my apron or whatever. Like I have a specific like thing that I'm wearing for like being in the kitchen. And then, like, water can go wherever. It doesn't matter because everything in that room is fine to get wet. And, like, I can, like, rinse everything at once. And it's, like, very systematic. Like, that to me is fine. But if I need to, like, transition from, like, being in the sink to, like, touching anything else, it bothers me so much. Like, I need to either have my hands be 100% wet or 100% dry. I don't like in the middle. You remember seeing a castle with a bunch of rooms? Yeah, I feel like castle is a good way to go. You can't do dishes without gloves. Gloves make it worse to me because then the water goes into the gloves. I have this like superpower. I call it mom hands, where I can just kind of like turn off the grossness reflex and just like do things like let Jess emergencies spit gum out in my hand or clean all of the nasty food grossness out of the trap at the bottom of the sink. Like, but I have to be in that mode. It's so hard to like go between. You have the tall gloves to avoid that. I think finishing a row is an admirable amount for today's effort. You wear gloves a lot? Totally. I do not like gloves. See, to me, gloves are the tactile, unfortunate part. I don't like how they feel on my hand. It's too much touching. It's not so bad though if like it's gonna be dry inside the gloves. It's like when I'm sweating or like when the gloves are wet or anything like that, that's when it's really bad. You have a mom, Fred, that fished a burning cherry from between your legs in a car going down the freeway once? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the power of mom hands right there. There was a mansion known as the Castle in your city that was for sale a few years ago. We were like, okay, how many friends can we rope in? I feel like that's the way you gotta do it. Because, like, some of these buildings that exist, too, like, just the footprint that they take up is ridiculous for one person. Like, on an environmental level, too. Like, it makes sense for some of these buildings that exist to go to a group of people. You just need the icky stuff to not be touching your hands, totally. It's like the It's like the half and half of it. It's like my hands are like a little icky in the gloves because like they're damp. So I would rather just like go full icky. There would need to be hella bylaws. We went to a communal living like community thing at one point. Like we were touring it because my grandfather was moving out of his big house where he was living by himself at the time and was going to need to be living somewhere where he would have more like immediate like people around him, and he did go into like an assisted living facility rather than that. But one of the places that we were looking at was like a community of townhomes, and inside the community, I think it was all walking spaces, and then there was like a community kitchen and stuff so that you could do that like a certain amount of nights a week or something. And then they had like a bandana system where it was like if you're wearing a certain color of bandana, that indicates for people to like not talk to you and things like that. I like that, honestly. I'm a fan of that. Big light after 7 p.m. gets you brought before the council survivor style. Certainly would need to be big light free zones. Sometimes I do need the big light though, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I need to be able to see everything. But that's generally like if I'm actively working on something. If it's relaxed time, no big light. If the big light is on, your kids know you're not there. Oh no. I wasn't paying attention. I was saying the townhome community thing. I was just saying that they had a rule or a system like of color-coded bandanas. So if you were wearing a certain color of bandana, then people would know like not to talk to you. You're being hit with the sleepy curse. Oh no. How many knife grippers we got in the chat? I was told I'm a knife gripper. There's different ways of holding your hook, and one of them is called the knife grip, and one of them is called the pencil grip, and it's like, are you a pencil gripper? You're a knife gripper? Hell yeah. You do either one until your hand hurts and then you switch? Totally. I think that's a good way to go about it too. Because you want to give your hand a break as much as possible. Using your wrist brace to store your hook while you do miscellaneous tasks. You were like, I have a pocket knife in my bag. I can have a knife grip if you want me to. Just let me get my knife out. Almost there. It's on the table. It's getting closer. I'm gonna turn around and it's gonna be right next to you. Found a 10 bed for $5 million. Oh, only 5 million. Wow. Chump change for us, right? Yeah. Location is probably pretty important to know. Doncaster? Wait. Can you be more specific? I mean, what is that are we going UK right now? More general? Yes, I think that more general might be the word. Well, I could be more specific because there could be more than one Doncaster, so like, which Doncaster, right? Can kind of go either way. West Yorkshire? Okay, gotcha. Don't really want to move to Turf Island, honestly. Maybe if it was in Scotland. Oh my god. Just can't say anything anymore, can I? The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. Yeah, there's also an Australian Doncaster. Exactly. Weast? Wow. Now we're just making fun of me. You would never make fun of this streamer? I know you're lying now. We can buy an isle in Scotland? Let's do it. I'm in. That's the one. We'll buy an island and then we'll be like Signal Island and it's like, no, you're not allowed to come here. Or else. Homegrown wool for the crafts? Now we're talking. 5.5 million and it comes with docks. Okay. Did I ever say I wouldn't play a Minecraft server with strangers? I just said I hadn't. And I'm scared to. I never said I wasn't scared to move to Scotland. Your Honor? Who's honorable in here? Tell me that first. Yes, Your Honor. Oh my god. Where are you from, Molly, anyway? Ligma? Come on. Oh, yeah, Sister City. Hi, Large Fishy. Happy Friday to you as well. How are you doing today? Glad it's the weekend? Totally. Doing okay. Better than yesterday for sure. I think I kicked whatever little cold was trying to come for me. It says there's 8 residential homes and subject for planning and redevelopment. I mean, we would have to do some planning and redevelopment. We gotta make it perfect for the community, right? W immune system indeed. Yeah, it usually does pretty right by me. Can't complain too much. And that is another row done. The back of the work stresses you out? Hey, it's okay. I got it under control. It can't hurt you. I am the floss tamer. Sleeps up to 52 guests. That's pretty good. I feel like we can make something out of that. Y'all watch Strange Aeons on YouTube? Because this is making me think of a Strange Aeons video. Alright, let's see how it's looking after today. So if I didn't have a hard cutoff time, I might actually do another row. Because the cool thing about the map is that every 3 or 4 rows, well, I guess it's more like every 4 or 5 rows, there is a repeat row. So if you look right here, this is the row that we just completed right here. And you can see the stitches are stacked right here, right? So there's 2 of these light green stitches, there's 2 of these dark green stitches, and so on. It is like this for the entire row because Concerned Ape periodically just like doubles up the rows. So it's actually really good for like speed, because whatever row I just did, the next row I'm gonna barely have to look at the image for reference, because all I need to do is do the exact same color in the exact same place that I did for the previous row. So it goes by pretty quickly, and I could probably do it a lot faster, but I do have to for sure be off the computer by 4 today, so I'm just gonna do some cleanup to end out stream. But maybe next week, because I won't normally have this scheduling conflict on Fridays, so. But here's how we're looking after today. So we're getting the roof going on Joja Mart. Pierre's is almost there. We're starting on the cliff above the town leading up to the community center. You can see there's the path to the farm. We've got some garden plots coming in here. Yeah, I love how the farm looks. I love this big open space. And then we are starting to emerge from the dense forest. You can see we're coming out of it a little bit, so it's not going to go on for very much longer. And then we'll have the open hills up there. I'm excited to get into that. So I'll turn this turn the yellow light off and crank up the white light so you can see more accurate colors. It's hard for me at this point to work on it with the white light on because I've gotten so used to working on it with the yellow light on, so it actually makes it harder for me to tell what color I need to use when I have the white light on. But yeah, you can see this is more accurate to the actual colors of the map. I think it makes a big difference. It's way less washed out, and I feel like all of the colors are more defined like this. You remember when we were just starting the farmland? I know. We've come a long way in just a couple weeks, for sure. Oh, you're not going to be able to stick around for full streams on Fridays starting next week? Well, I'm glad that your classes are starting up. That's fun. Thank you so much, Fishy. I appreciate that. Let's do some cleanup here. Get all this. Got all this to deal with. I'm gonna have it running on your laptop in the background. Gotta turn this yellow light back on actually so I can see what I'm doing. Della's gonna get one last word in here in about 5 minutes. Unless I can beat her to the punchline. gonna nap in your future? Sounds like a good idea. Took a big ol' nap earlier. Sounds great. I woke up right before stream, but nap sounds really nice. Definitely, at the very least, gonna go turn my brain off for a little bit. Gotta rot for a second before I get back to it, you know? I want another chai latte, and I want my, oh my god, why am I blanking on what they're called right now? My little rice cakes, and I want to, like, stare at a screen for a little bit. A different screen from the one I've been staring at for the past 3 hours. Yeah, nothing beats a nice rot. Gonna take the pattern test with you when you visit your grandma this weekend? Yeah, absolutely. Take your time with it, though. No pressure to get it done right away. Focus on your grandma for sure. Fun little road trip project, for sure. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty portable, so nothing too big. So it would be good for that. You can just go ahead and get little balls of yarn for whatever colors you need. Yeah, you're gonna need something to do while you're chilling, 100%. I would definitely want to have something to keep my hands busy. You're always working on something, yeah, for sure. I like my knitting projects for that, because I haven't gotten too crazy with them yet, so just straightforward knit stitch, and it's very easy to just turn my brain off it, and just do that, and not have to think about it too much. You are in the wrong spot, sir. Oh, she got us. Definitely need to remember to put in my yarn order this weekend. Well, thank y'all for sitting through one last Adele attack. I am just updating my spreadsheet really quick so I know what I need to order this weekend. And there we go. Yeah, it's been really fun keeping the wrappers and just seeing them accumulate. I wish that I had thought of this at the actual beginning of the project because I am missing some, but this is still the majority of them. And it is nice to hang on to them too because it makes updating the spreadsheet easier, so. Got a nice chunky amount there. I like how they vacuum seal in there. Wrapper pillow. No, for real though. Especially because I have some more from a commission that I also have been saving. So I have more wrappers than just that. But that's just all the ones from this project. So let me save my place here. Okay. And all done for today. Yeah, thank y'all so much for hanging out. I'm gonna find someone for us to do a little raid on really quick if y'all don't mind hanging around for just one more second. I'll give y'all a chance to look through the emotes that are at your disposal really quick. See if you can't pick out what you think your evilest emote is. I would like to see some original ideas. Let's see. Let's look through the Makers and Crafting tab. Oh, somebody is doing Stardew Valley cross stitch. I think that sounds perfect. Their stream is 18 plus, so keep that in mind. But we will go over there and do a little raid. So if y'all wouldn't mind joining me for that. Hopefully we got good vibes over there. Once again, the raid command is your evilest emote along with evil raid. And I will see y'all next week. I'll see you on the Discord. Thank you so much again for joining me today. Kisses.
The single most painful moment, and I have broken my ankle. I have broken a lot of things. And getting great time for the raid and getting my nipples pierced was the most painful moment of my life. Welcome in, Raiders. Jack, an evil raid. Oh my goodness, evil. Evil? We loves it. Let me park my needle. Let me park my needle here. How are we doing? How was your stream? Welcome in, Raiders. I am Rollstad, and that is pretty much the best, most honest introduction I could have possibly had to any of you. Lovely to have you. Lovely to meet you. What were we streaming? Can we get a shout out for the there it is. JackEvilStreams, please. There it is. Okay, I was trying to knock that loose and not make a big deal out of it, but it was happening. Oh, there we go. Oh, makers and crafters. What were we making? And or crafting? I'm gonna open you up.